has mediocre game 1 matchups against everybody, but his post-board matchups improve significantly. So,
well, we are going to see Michael Strunk, as you said, play the Aristocrats here. He's on the left. Doesn't look like his list has made a ton of changes from the Pro Tour list here. I'll run down the numbers for you guys really quick, as we do see Arlie Silver start with an Experiment 1, a deck that I know for you, Glenn, you can't get it to work, the old Experiment Jund deck.
Arlie is not playing Experiment Jund. He's playing Hagrul, a very interesting Gruul list. With he has access to Slaughterhorn, like Firefish Striker, Legion Loyalist. He's Ash Zealoting with this deck that has a forest. You can see the forest right there, Cedric.
That has a forest. That's blowing my mind. That's actually there.
Good start for Arlie here. The Naya Blitz start, basically, with the Experiment 1 and a Burnt Emissary and a Flinthoof Boar. And he is running, in addition, Arlie has access to a Mugging. Nice Thragtusk. That guy is not on D this round.
That guy is not blocking, whether you like it or not. So we do see Arlie coming through here very, very quickly with that start. You see a second forest here. Ash Zealot, you ain't coming to the party right now, but Legion Loyalist, excuse me. I don't want to do that goblin backwards into Strangleroot, guys.
2 forests,
and
perfect.
Strunk is going to pick up his Sacred Foundry. He's going to pick up his Godless Shrine. He said, let's try this again, I guess.
So that was sweet, yeah.
So, you know, the Aristocrats not really seeing a lot of play. Maybe that's the reason why.
Well, they said they don't want turn 3 kills in Modern, right? And this deck is clearly Modern legal, so I think we've already, you know, which card are we hitting with the next Banhammer?
I think the Banhammer is going to go. I think the Loyalist is the one that put over the top.
Loyalist.
So, yeah, guys, I would sell on your Loyalist, because those are not going to be Modern legal. And whatever the next ban announcement is, probably going to make an emergency ban. That's how it looks right now.
Emergency ban?
Yeah. So Monday. No more Legion Loyalists.
That's tough. Looking at Arlie's list, in addition to the interesting cards I was able to rattle off before he murdered his opponent, he's also got access to board Revenge of the Hunted, 2 of those, you know, just for when you want to peel. 4 Traitorous Blood as a threaten effect, and 4 Mayor of Averbrook, which is a curious one. I honestly, I don't know where that goes. Obviously, he has some humans in his main deck. He has Experiment 1, he has Zealot, he has Emissary, he has Firefish Striker, he has Lightning Mauler, fair number of humans, but not enough that I would really think the Anthem's putting it over the top. So I imagine he's going for Mayor against decks where he thinks he can like realistically flip it and use it to generate creatures. Maybe some kind of control matchup, which is what Mayor, you know, used to actually be played as. So that's pretty cute.
Well, I was going to run down Strunk's cards in his main deck. That was my plan. As we were going to, you know, talk about his main deck, then go over Arlie's main deck, and then, figure out who was going to win and, you know, what cards matter. But then, you know, Strunk played 2 lands and he died. So we'll go over his main deck really quickly here, assuming I have enough time. Of 2 Skirt decks, High Priest, a Restoration Angel, 4 Cartel Aristocrats, 4 Knight of Infamies. He's got 3 Silverblade Paladins to go along with 2 Zealous Conscripts, 4 Falcon Aristocrats, 4 Doom Travelers, and 4 Champion of the Parish. Spells, of course, he does have 3 Lingering Souls, 3 Orzhov Charms, and 2 Tragic Steps. Okay, game 2's not over yet. Lucky us.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get to the sideboard here. 2 Purify the Graves, a Pacifism, a Sever the Bloodline, an additional Zealous Conscripts, a Mark of Mutiny, a Cathedral Sanctifier, a Rock's Faith Mender, a Lingering Souls, 2 Tragic Slips, 2 Obsidiats, and 2 Sorin Lord of Innistrad. I think, you know, for Mike, he's going to want to be able to bring the curve down so he can interact a little bit quickly so he doesn't die before he just does play 2 lands. So, you know, Pacifism is certainly going to come in here. I think we'll see the Cathedral Sanctifier join us as well. That Faith Mender, even though it is 4 mana, once it does come online, a very powerful card. An additional Lingering Souls, put him up to 4 after sideboard. Looks like he's got a lot of things that he can trade with here. And those 2 Tragic Slips as well. Sorin Lord of Innistrad, a little bit better on the play than it is on the draw. I'm not sure if it's going to be an 11 to stabilize, but I could see it coming in as well.
Yeah, I think I would bring it in if I'm on the play, but on the draw, I'm not enthusiastic enough about it, probably. Especially when, you know, your opponent's playing green-red, you kind of assume he has things like Gorkland Rampager, so that's just not going to work out for you in a lot of cases. Amusingly enough, Arlie Silver's, you know, playing this red splash green strategy. I actually saw a similar deck. Jerry did a little bit on it for a newsletter that ran, you know, Madcap skills and Fling and Russia Blood. I've heard that since the guy has dropped the Russia Bloods. Can't blame him. Can't blame him. But Fling, Madcap skills, and like a bunch of nonsense like that. Gorkland Rampager Fling obviously being like the real selling point. Basically build your own Berserk here. Yeah. So I'm kind of digging this idea.
As a good friend of mine, a fellow streamer, Greg Hatch, would say, if you're talking about Fling and Madcap skills, we're going upstairs with those bad boys. That's where those are getting targeted. And I like a deck that does go upstairs, my friend. So we do see that Michael and Arlie have sideboard here. You see I'm looking at their opening hands. And we'll see if Michael's able to actually, you know, play Magic this go around. So you see a couple lands over there in Arlie's hand.
4 lands in Strunks, and it looks like a Champion of the Parish, a Doom Traveler, and a Cartel Aristocrat. which is, you know, respectable, but he's not the beatdown in this matchup, so we're going to have to see how well it works out.
Well, we'll see what Champion of the Parish thinks of that, Glenn. If anyone wants to beat down, it's Champion of the Parish.
Whoa, no one drop. Legion Loyalist,
well, banned.
not there.
Banned, so
Yeah.
as we are going to see a Cartel Aristocrat here. That's going to pump your champion as it is a human, make it a 2-2. And it is going to come across, and as you do see Arlie taking a look at Cartel Aristocrat, we'll bring it up on the screen for you guys. It's the new human that did put Brian Braun-Dewan into the finals of the Star City Games Open Series in Atlanta, and that Human Reanimator take. And, you know, while that version of Human Reanimator may have died down, Cartel Aristocrat has really found a home in this deck.
Yep. One of the self-named aristocrats of the deck, Falcon Wrath Aristocrat being the other one. Cartel Aristocrat can play a variety of roles. It doesn't do any of them incredibly, but it does all of them well.
Yeah.
So.
And so now we are going to see Arlie play a Burning Tree Emissary into a Lightning Mauler. They're going to partner up, and Lightning Mauler, while it is good, it's not that good.
He's not into threesomes.
We're going to put that on the watch. Put that on the watch list.
He's going to attack for 4. Can't imagine that Michael's going to be able to block here. No, can't block. Has that Doom Traveler, he wants to get his value.
Yeah, and we do see Falcon Wrath Aristocrat does draw the card. We will see a Sacred Foundry coming to play tap. Doomed Aristocrat, that's going to put the champion. And you said that Strunk is not the aggressor, and he has put the brakes on.
Yep, but he does now have a 3/3 blocker, an unbeatable 2/2 blocker, and a 1/1 that turns into another 1/1 blocker. So he's actually stopped this turn pretty well. The pressure's on Arlie now to come up with something. Gorkland Rampager will only let him save one of his creatures, so it's not even that impressive, plus it costs him his whole turn. It's probably going to be a cessation of hostilities here without multiple spells or one really good one.
And so now we do see Arlie is going to play a mountain for his land for the turn, and you see him taking a look at all the cards in play. You see him making sure he knows what Champion of the Paris does, make sure he knows what Cartel Aristocrat and the Doom Traveler do. And, you know, that's something that, you know, players kind of assume they know what the cards do, but it certainly doesn't hurt to, you know, confirm what they do, especially with a deck like the Aristocrats. It gets a little tricky out there.
One of the upsides to playing decks that are very aggressive is that it actually affords you more time to carefully consider your plays and make sure you're landing on the right ones.
And so now we're going to see a Burning Tree Emissary into a Fire-Lit Striker.
Fire
Fist Striker, excuse me. This is a limited all-star. Might be sliding in constructed. This is a card that Patrick Sullivan tried to trick me into playing in a red deck once, and I said, Patrick, I don't think so, my friend.
Not the Data Piker?
He said, buddy, you got to get through that Boros Reckoner somehow. And I said, maybe you just play a different deck. How about that?
That is one way to get through Boros Reckoner.
And so, you know, you see the Human Soldier here that with Battalion can make it so the creature can't block. Boros Reckoner definitely a good card to be unable to block when you're playing a red strategy, but I think I'd rather just play a different deck if Reckoners are that popular.
Yeah, Firefist Striker is one of the cards Arlie has that can help him break through this board. In conjunction with whatever spell he might play next turn, he might be able to use a Rampage or a Mugging or something like that to actually keep enough of his creatures around to make an alpha attack worthwhile.
Well, we do see Strunk is going to tap 4 mana. He's going to play a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. And we'll see if he's going to attack with this here. So he can get damage through in the air, and you see Arlie's going to take a look at the 4/1 haster that can become indestructible.
I wouldn't fault an attacker. Yeah, I was about to say, he has to clock his opponent. He knows his opponent can draw things like Gorkland Rampager, like more creatures that can attack him. He needs a clock. He doesn't have enough defense to actually break Arlie's tide, if it goes, you know, forever.
And so we do see that attack with the Aristocrat. Arlie does draw. He is going to play a spell here. It is an Acid Zealot, so he has a ton of Grizzly Bears on the table. Oh, yeah. You see the Firefish Striker that can give Battalion, and it looks like he even has another play. What is this one? That
another
is a
Lightning Mauler.
Jeez.
Looks like he's going to pair with... It doesn't really matter, to be honest. I guess I would want to pair with a 2/2 to make it less likely I lose all of my 2/1s that are relevant, but I don't know.
So now we see all the creatures are turning sideways here, and we'll see what Firefish Striker does target, assuming that Arlie does remember to use that Battalion trigger.
Yeah, it seems like Strunk's kind of like waiting for him to do it. Maybe he's thinking about it.
Giving him every opportunity here. As you know, it's likely going to target the Champion of the Parish. I would assume. Maybe it does target the Cartel Aristocrat, we're not sure, but I would assume it's going to be the Champion of the Parish.
Players just one more for standard win box. Sign up.
That's where I would go too. I mean, you can target the Aristocrat now, but it's already going to eat that Doom Traveler probably before blockers, because the 1/1 Spirit can still block. I mean, it doesn't really matter when he eats it.
And so you see Strunk moving some things around here. We'll see what he's going to block, how he's going to want to go about doing it. Strunk's
I imagine
Aristocrat
on Ash Cell, it's like the first immediate one. We've got confirmed that Champ can't block. But Aristocrat on Ash Zealot's nice because once it gains pro-red, first strike no longer matters. They'll just eat the guy anyway. The question I imagine he has is whether he should sack that Doom Traveler before blocking or after, depending on whether he wants to keep the Spirit around or not.
Sure.
Obviously, if he sacks it after blocking, he won't be able to trade with a creature on the board. And considering how many are on the board, the trade seems like something he should be interested in, especially considering Firefish Striker.
Yeah, he's got to get these guys off the board here.
I think he probably has to go sack, get pro-red, block Zealot, block Striker, take 10.
Yeah, just 10.
Just 10.
Big deal.
Ooh, he's...
Let me see, maybe he's going to jump in front here. See what Strunk is going to do here. Now, he really just needs to use his life total as a resource. I think the most important thing he needs to get off that table, of course, is that Firefish Striker. I think that's problem number one. The rest of the guys are just kind of Texas grizzly bears.
Or pikers.
Or pikers,
Goblin
yes.
pikers. Yeah. A member of your favorite tribe.
The best tribe.
I agree that he probably just wants to get these guys out of here. He can actually, reasonably stabilize on the next turn. If he kills off 2 creatures, takes 10, he'll have 4 creatures. He'll have 3 creatures to 5 creatures, and he has a Champion of the Parish already in his hand. If he draws any other spell, he'll actually be, ahead of where Arlie is. Although he'll still have to risk dying to something like Gorklan Rampage. I feel like I keep saying Gorklan Rampage.
Yeah, you should. Me? You should. You are a broken record because it is that good of a card.
Every person who's playing Gruul, you just got to be scared. That's the card to be scared of at almost all times.
Oh, now he's going to sack Falkenrath Aristocrat now. This I don't think we saw coming.
I didn't really see this coming. I think it's an okay play. It maximizes your defense this turn, but it does remove your ability to clock the opponent. However, we clearly were going to have to stop attacking next turn. So
now we'll see some creatures trade off in combat here. You'll see Doom Traveler provide a Spirit Token. We'll see Strunk. He's going to take 10 points of damage. That Lightning Mauler is going to be freed up. So if he does draw a creature that has haste, that doesn't have haste, it will have haste because of the Lightning Mauler.
It's not actually such a big deal considering the creatures that don't have haste are few and far between. Although, you want to know what one of them is?
Ooh, which one?
Gorklan Rampage. He does not have haste.
I should have known that. Walked right near your trap there. As we do see a Champion of the Parish here. Got to pump that other champion up to a 4/4. And Strunk is just going to have to play D. Going to have to pass the turn back.
Yeah, well, he's not so bad off here, even though he is on 4 life. There are just a handful of cards to really be concerned with.
Mountain the draw step for Arlie this turn. So Strunk is trying to fade a couple of draw steps here.
Yeah.
Certainly a difficult situation for him. We have Arlie's deck list in front of us. There's not a lot of burn in his deck. There are the 4 muggings and the 2 Domri Rods. There are no Searing Spears or anything like that to look out for. But you do see an attack here from Arlie. No fear coming on in here.
Yeah, no fear. And you see Strunk immediately puts his 1/1 onto the unpaired Lightning Mauler. He knows what's up there. Got to make sure that guy dies. Gets the other Lightning Mauler as well. And then he's just going to be blocking here. He's still thinking. That's what his hand wave almost certainly was indicating. He's probably considering whether he can just throw away his Cartel Aristocrat, whether he needs to keep it around anymore. And I think throwing it away is fine.
Just letting it go.
Yeah, just let it go. And then you have a 4/4 against a 2/2 on an otherwise empty board. It's not so bad. You also run the risk of, Gorklan Rampage is not really a risk anymore because it pretty much kills him regardless of what happens. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and try and save that Aristocrat. Problem is that this leaves Arlie with, 2 creatures, which is a little better for him.
Yeah. I think he just wants to try to get as many things off the table as he can.
Yeah.
And so after combat, if he does choose to block this way, as you see him really debating things here, it would leave Strunk with a 4/4 Champion of the Parish versus a 2/2 Burning Tree Emissary.
To be fair, keeping the Cartel Aristocrat in play does lock Arlie out of a card like Traitorous Blood. We don't know if he brought it in. I kind of expected that he wouldn't, although it's good against a Cartel Aristocrat and Falconwrath Aristocrat deck in many ways because you can use it to sort of kill a creature. In the case of Falconwrath Aristocrat, it just kills the guy.
Yeah.
Obviously. That said, not a really great card in this matchup.
And so he is going to block that way in which he can't save his Aristocrat. And, still see some creatures trade off in combat. It'll be 2 guys versus 2 guys. And Strunk will go down to 2 life.
Which means he has to be attacked to death because mugging does not target players.
That's true.
Strunk's pockets are full, but they're safe.
Strunk draws a tragic slip.
That would have been very useful at every other stage of the game.
Yes. Something you could have helped me with yesterday, as Arlie's going to draw a card here. That's a spell.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure it's a spell. And it is a Strangleroot Geist.
Sure. Think he's going to attack?
I got a good feeling that he is.
Arlie's going to go ahead and attack here.
We'll see some trades, and we'll see Strunk Geist eat a tragic slip.
Yep.
So Slip will take care of that. Undying will trigger. You'll see some trade-offs of creatures here. And it's going to be Champion of the Pair standing tall against a 3/2 Strunk Geist. And again, Strunk trying to fade a lot of draw steps. And the thing about the Aristocrats, Glenn, is that it just does not have very much life gain in the deck.
No. The Aristocrats is really kind of a tempo deck itself, I think. It's designed to be creatively aggressive, I think is the phrase that I'd like to say. It's not especially great at blocking. It's not built to come back from super large deficits against these aggressive creature decks, at least.
And you saw the card that Arlie drew for the turn was one of his 2 Kessick Wolf runs. And that is going to wrap it up. So Michael Strunk is defeated, playing the Aristocrats by Arlie Silver. And his innovative take on Gruul. I think these players were X and O coming into this round. Is that true? Maybe X and 1?
I believe they were X and 1. I'm not 100%, but yeah.